Dear Libra, October demands the impossible choice. This pivotal decision will transform your destiny.
The invisible agony. Dear Libra, there is a lie you have been living, a beautifully constructed facade of perfect equilibrium that has, for months, been silently crumbling beneath the surface of your life. October is not merely another month approaching on the calendar. It is a cosmic deadline. The universe, in its profound and often brutal wisdom, is about to position you at a threshold where the agonizing choice you have desperately tried to postpone must finally be made. This is not a choice between what is right and what is wrong, or between the light and the dark. That would be simple, painful, yes, but clear. No, your trial is far more complex, far more insidious. You stand, right now, suspended between two futures, each one glowing with a profound, undeniable truth. Both promise a life you desperately want. Both are equally valid pathways to a version of yourself that is whole. And because they are both so right, the tension of having to choose one, and by that very act, destroying the other, is the invisible agony that is tearing your soul apart, the agony of the middle ground. Have you felt that relentless internal pull, that sensation of being stretched taut between two poles, your entire being screaming for a middle ground, a win-win scenario that simply does not exist? This moment, Libra, is the universe forcing your hand, pushing you past the paralyzing safety of the fence and demanding sovereign self-authorship. It is a decision that may manifest in the material realm. Stepping away from a comfortable but deeply suffocating professional path for an uncertain leap of passion. Releasing a bond you treasure, but which has become a tether to an old, stagnant self. Or finally choosing to honor your inner voice over the deafening, well-intentioned expectations of others. The impact will be seismic. It will rattle your very faith in the idea of harmony, which, for a Libra, is the foundational principle of existence. But here is the profound, liberating truth. This test comes only because your soul is prepared to pass it. The consequence of this choice, whichever door you choose to open, is the unlocking of a portal to a life that is truly, authentically yours. A life aligned not with whom others need you to be, but with the majestic, evolving self you were born to become. What if I told you that this decision, this very source of your current sleepless nights and internal pleas for a divine sign, is the fulcrum that will transform your entire narrative from this moment forward? The astrological mandate, no more limbo. The stars are not merely hinting at this, they are demanding it. The powerful lunar eclipse brewing in October reveals hidden, suppressed truths that have been intentionally veiled in the name of peace. It forces you face to face with a reality you have expertly sidestepped. Pluto, the great transformer, is actively ending cycles, not just old habits, but entire existential frameworks that can no longer sustain your growth. And Venus, your own divine ruler, ensures that even as you endure this profound internal severance, there is a fundamental protection, a divine equilibrium that will catch you when you fall. Do you recognize this feeling of being placed, trembling between two massive, ornate doors? Your hands hover over the cold doorknobs. Behind the left door lies a future you have carefully constructed. Behind the right, a future you have secretly dreamed of. To choose one is to declare the other an impossibility, to kill an entire, vibrant, alternative existence. The choice is not between a good door and a bad door. It is the agonizing choice between two loves, two undeniable truths, two viable directions that make complete and total sense to the logical, analyzing Libra mind. The astrological mandate: no more limbo. The stars are not merely hinting at this, they are demanding it. The powerful lunar eclipse brewing in October reveals hidden, suppressed truths that have been intentionally veiled in the name of peace. It forces you face to face with a reality you have expertly sidestepped. Pluto, the great transformer, is actively ending cycles, not just old habits, but entire existential frameworks that can no longer sustain your growth. And Venus, your own divine ruler, ensures that even as you endure this profound internal severance, there is a fundamental protection, a divine equilibrium that will catch you when you fall. Do you recognize this feeling of being placed, trembling between two massive, ornate doors? Your hands hover over the cold doorknobs. Behind the left door lies a future you have carefully constructed. Behind the right, a future you have secretly dreamed of. To choose one is to declare the other an impossibility, to kill an entire, vibrant, alternative existence. The choice is not between a good door and a bad door. It is the agonizing choice between two loves, two undeniable truths, two viable directions that make complete and total sense to the logical, analyzing Libra mind. The lie of postponement and the sovereign self. Perhaps you have told yourself that a magical third option will appear, a golden path that allows you to sidestep the sacrifice. Perhaps you've waited for a sign so obvious, a bolt of lightning so clear, that the responsibility of choosing is lifted from your shoulders and placed squarely on the cosmos. But Libra, the signs have already arrived. The answers are not hidden in the stars. They are buried within the quiet, suppressed voice of your own soul. You are simply afraid to excavate them. I need you to write this in the comments below right now. I, Libra, choose to liberate myself from the need for perfection. This is a powerful admission. It is you declaring that you are ready to stop chasing the perfect, loss-free path, which is the very illusion that has kept you bound in stasis. The moment of clarity you seek will not come from more analysis. Analysis is your greatest tool, yes, but it is also your most elegant prison. You can calculate the risks and rewards of these two doors 1,000 times, and the numbers will always come back equally weighted, because they represent two different, yet equally necessary, parts of your own identity. You are paralyzed not because you lack information, but because you lack the courage to accept the inevitable loss. The XVS, Y dichotomy and its emotional roots. Consider the dichotomy. If you choose the left door, you gain sovereignty X, but you permanently lose the comfort of approval Y. If you choose the right door, you secure stability Y, but you sacrifice the fierce, demanding pulse of authenticity X. Both X and Y are foundational. They represent not mere external conditions, but essential parts of the human experience that your soul needs to flourish. You cannot easily discard the need for stability, but neither can you survive without the breath of authenticity. Your natural impulse is to seek the win-win solution, the middle path where X and Y coexist. But October is here to deliver the most brutal, yet ultimately liberating, lesson a Libra must learn. There are moments in life where any movement requires a conscious, painful severance. Choosing inevitably leads to a sense of hurt, and it is in that hurt that true maturity is born. The scariest part of this is the profound solitude of the decision. You can consult mentors, therapists, and friends. You can poll your entire social circle. They will offer simplistic, well-meaning advice. Choose X. It's obvious. But they do not feel the nuances, the complexities, or the sheer weight of what is at stake on both sides of your inner scale. The tyranny of external voices, fair use expansion. The well-intentioned advice you receive is often rooted in the advisor's own fears or unfulfilled dreams, projected onto your dilemma. They look at your two doors through their own lens of what constitutes success or safety. But they are not the ones who will have to live the consequences of that choice. They will not be the one who wakes up 5 years from now, either basking in the glow of their chosen path or suffocating under the weight of what they missed. This is why, at the decisive moment, you will be utterly, completely alone before those two doors. And the hand that pushes one of those doorknobs will have to be yours. And the consequences, all of them, the joy, the regret, the liberation, the loss, will be yours and yours alone to integrate and bear. You have been trying to create elaborate excuses, waiting for life to intervene, to miraculously solve the problem without your participation. But this paralysis is not free. You are paying a hidden cost every single day you remain stuck. Your vital energy is being drained by the constant tension of holding two incompatible futures in your mind simultaneously. You are a vessel divided, unable to pour your full passion into either direction because you are always standing in both realities, preventing you from truly living either one. The tension of indecision is far more destructive to your spirit than the eventual sadness of choosing and moving forward. The paralysis is the ultimate denial of your sovereign power, the paradox of sovereign self-authorship, fair use expansion. This leads us to the heart of the matter, Libra. The ultimate freedom you seek is not freedom from choice, but freedom within choice. You are seeking the perfect choice because you fear making the wrong choice. But let us deconstruct what the wrong choice truly is. The wrong choice is never the one that leads to external pain or loss. Sometimes, external loss is the very price of freedom. The wrong choice is the one made out of fear, out of a desire to appease or maintain the approval of others, or because you lacked the courage to hear the whisper of your own soul. The right choice is simply the one made with complete honesty with yourself, even when it hurts, even when it disappoints the people you love, even when it means losing something you value. In October, you will have a moment of profound, crystalline clarity. It will not be a long, intellectual weighing of pros and cons. It will be a sudden, brief flash, an emotional knowing that lasts only a few seconds, where your deepest, most authentic self will point and say, "That door, that is the one where my soul can finally breathe," preparing the inner ground, the flash of knowing. And when that moment arrives, you will have a very brief, non-negotiable window to act. If you hesitate, if you try to overanalyze it, if you let the old fear-based pattern of paralysis take hold, that clarity will dissipate like mist, and you will return to the crushing weight of indecision. This is why your preparation must happen now, before October arrives. Preparation is not about deciding which door to choose. It is about preparing the inner ground to trust the flash of knowing when it comes. Practice loss acceptance. Begin to make peace with the foundational truth that you will lose something precious, no matter which door you open. This practice dismantles the illusion of the perfect choice, which is your deepest psychological cage. Strengthen your intuitive muscle. Start making small, decisive choices in less important areas of your life. What to wear, what to eat, which route to take, without seeking external validation. These small acts of self-trust are strengthening your core for the monumental decision ahead. Embrace emotional sobriety. Do not suppress the anxiety or the fear. Your nervous system is preparing for a defining life event, and the turmoil you feel is completely normal. Allow yourself to feel the full intensity of what is happening. The key is to feel it without allowing it to govern you. The liberation of choice. The aftermath. Libra, I want you to grasp a profound paradox. Making this difficult choice in October, even if it is painful and immediately costly, will bring you more genuine, settled peace than you have felt in years. The tension of holding two futures simultaneously is far more corrosive to your spirit than the temporary sadness of choosing one and losing the other. Once the choice is made, you can finally invest your full, undivided energy into the path you have chosen. You can stop dividing your essence. You can commit. And here is the beautiful secret you will only discover after you push open the door. The path you left behind, the door you closed, will not haunt you in the way you fear. Yes, there will be moments of profound melancholy, a gentle longing for what could have been. But this longing will be overshadowed by a profound, internal relief, a knowing that you are finally moving forward in a clear direction, that you are no longer being torn into fractions. The emergence of the sovereign Libra. The choice you make in October will define far more than your external circumstances. It will define the kind of person you become. You will emerge as someone who has the courage to make difficult decisions even when they hurt, someone who trusts their own inner voice above all external counsel, and someone who accepts that living fully sometimes requires sacrifice. You will discover a strength you never knew you possessed, the ability to endure loss, to integrate that grief, and still move forward, making you deeper, more compassionate, and more profoundly aware. When that pivotal moment arrives in October, and you push through one of those doors, you will feel solid ground reappear beneath your feet. Clarity will rush in to replace the confusion. Your vital energy, which has been stagnant in the paralysis of indecision, will begin to flow again. And in the months that follow, you will build an entire life on that specific, chosen path, a life rich with opportunities and connections that only exist because you committed fully to that one direction. The pain of the loss will transform, over time, into a beautiful, gentle melancholy, a poignant awareness of the precious, ephemeral nature of life's choices. It is not forgetting the loss, but integrating it as the very proof of your courage and self-authorship. The closing, the gateway to liberation. Libra, do not fear the pain of this choice. It does not come to punish you, but to set you free. The universe has seen your silent strength, and now it is demanding that you use it. This decision will be difficult, yes, but it will be the most defining moment of your recent journey, the one that liberates you from the invisible chains of perpetual indecision. The new you cannot arrive until the old, conflicted version is respectfully laid to rest. The choice you face in October is not an obstacle. It is the gateway to your greatest liberation. Look ahead, Libra. The universe does not want to see you trapped. It wants to see you whole, free, and on the path to your true, uncompromised destiny. If this message resonated, if you recognized your own impossible struggle in these words, then that is your confirmation. You are not alone in this brutal, defining moment. Share your renewed strength in the comments. I am ready to choose my sovereign path. Subscribe to the channel, because the immediate aftermath of such a choice requires continued validation and support. Turn on notifications so you do not miss the guidance that will help you integrate the loss and begin to build the magnificent life you were freed to create. Your courage is growing. October will arrive, and when it does, you will choose, and you will discover that you are stronger than you ever imagined. The hardest choice of your destiny is also the beginning of your liberation.